So before we start reading with the next part of the story, just a quick recap of what we have read so far. So in the previous class, we have started reading about this story, The Address, written by Marga Minpo, where through the eyes of the narrator of the story, she is telling about the effect of war, that how much loss the narrator had suffered during the war. And she had remembered a promise that she had made once to her mother when the war had started. Her mother had asked her to remember one particular address because she had kept all her belongings in the safe custody of one person who was her old acquaintance, and they had renewed the contact lately. And then after that, she had started visiting their house and taking their belongings to their home. So once the war was over and things became normal, this girl, the narrator of the story, she came to that address. She rang the doorbell, but she was disappointed to receive a very cold reception at the hands of her mother's friend. Her name is Mrs. Dorling. At first, she refused to identify or recognize her. But when she insisted that she is Mrs. S's daughter, and the narrator also saw the lady wearing her mother's green knitted cardigan, the wooden buttons, they had faded because of overwashing. The lady, she had to accept that yes, she had recognized her. But still, she refused to talk to her and asked her to come some other time. The girl stood there disappointed. She had come so far after overcoming a long trauma that she had undergone, the problems that she had faced. So it was not easy for her to come to that part, that door, and ring the bell. She was there, but she did not expect such behavior from her mother's friend. And she started moving back towards the railway station. And at that time, she had the flashback of memories that how she had met with this lady. And in the flashback, we have read that she had come during the holidays to her house and she observed that there were a lot of changes in her house. And the changes were a lot of things were missing from her own house. The mother was surprised that her daughter would recognize these things so quickly, and she started explaining things to her that it was one of her acquaintance, an old friend who had come now, and she started visiting their house quite frequently. And she told her daughter that how she suggested that they should keep all their valuable and precious belongings in her safe custody. She had convinced the mother by saying that it was the war time and they had to run at any time, leaving everything behind. So the things, the precious things of theirs, it would be looted, they would be robbed, and thus nothing would be left behind. And it would be better that they keep all their belongings at her house. So the narrator's mother, she was convinced, she trusted this lady, and she handed over her precious things to her. So every time she would visit their house, she would carry a bag along with her. The silver crockery she had taken to her house, the large vases, the antique plates, everything she had taken. But narrator's daughter, she was not convinced. She asked her mother if she had agreed on this matter, but the mother became angry. माँ नाराज होती है कि वो दोस्त जो उनकी इस मुसीबत में मदद कर रही है, आप उनसे ऐसे कैसे पूछ सकते हो? She could not ask her for an agreement. And the mother, she wanted that the discussion should be stopped at that moment. Her daughter understood, and although she was not satisfied, but she did not discuss any further on this issue. And as she was thinking about all these things, she was absorbed in her thoughts. She had reached the station. She recognized that how she had avoided looking at the things where she had spent most of the time during her childhood. And the narrator, she talks about that how she avoided getting upset by looking at those things. So from second paragraph, page number is 12, we will start reading from there. So meanwhile, I had arrived at the station without having paid much attention to the things on the way. I was walking in familiar places again for the first time since the war, but I did not want to go further than was necessary. I didn't want to upset myself with the sights of streets and houses full of memories from a precious time. So these memories of her childhood were precious to her, but along with the sweet memories, there were also some sour memories, the painful memories, and thus she avoided looking at the things or the surrounding when she was walking in the street and was moving towards the railway station. In the train back, I saw Mrs. Darling in front of me again as I had the first time I met her. So when she was in the train, she again had the flashback and she remembered how she had met her for the first time, met Mrs. Darling for the first time. It was the morning after the day my mother had told me about her. I had got up late and coming downstairs, I saw my mother about to see someone out, a woman with a broad back. So it was morning time. Her mother had already explained about the things to her. And she woke up late, and when she came downstairs, she saw her mother who was about to receive a woman, and she could only see the back of that woman, and she observed that the woman had a very broad back. Unka jo shoulder tha wo kafi chauda tha, broad tha. "There's my daughter," said my mother, and she beckoned to me. Beckon means when you call someone with gesture. And when she saw the daughter coming downstairs, she called her as she wanted her to get introduced with Mrs. Darling. The woman nodded and picked up the suitcase under the coat rack. She wore a brown coat and a shapeless hat. So as Mrs. S, she introduced her daughter, the woman, she nodded at her, and then it was then that the narrator, she had seen Mrs. Darling. She had a broad back and she was wearing a brown coat and a shapeless hat. And she picked up a suitcase which was kept under the coat rack. Again, the mother of the narrator, she had packed valuable things, and Mrs. Darling, she had come to take those valuable things with her. "In Marconi Street," said my mother, "number 46, remember that." And it was that day that the mother, she had asked her daughter to remember the address that was number 46 Marconi Street. And it was the address of Mrs. Darling. She was staying just next to their street. पास ही था घर उसका, ज्यादा दूर नहीं था, और वो 46 street number Marconi Street था, जिस street का नाम, वहां रहती थी. And the mother, she had asked her daughter to remember this address. I had remembered it. And the narrator said, yes, आज तक वो मुझे address याद था. But I had waited a long time to go there. Initially, after the liberation, I was absolutely not interested in all that stored stuff, and naturally, I was also rather afraid of it. Here the narrator explains that the trauma that she had undergone, the difficulties, the problems she had faced being a refugee. So after the liberation means when the war was over, the countries were freed. She said that she had waited for a long time to come to that address because it was not easy for her to overcome the trauma. वो जो दर्द से वो गुजरी थी, उस दर्द को ओवरकम करके उन यादों को, कड़वी यादों को भुलाना आसान नहीं था और इस जगह पर पहुंचना भी मुश्किल था. वो कहती है कि उस जगह पर जहां उसकी मदर की all the valuable stuffs were stored there. But she said that she was afraid of looking at those things. वो डरती थी कि जैसे ही वो वहां पहुंचेगी और वो उन चीजों को देखेगी तो उसकी वो कड़वी यादें वापस से ताजा हो जाएंगी. वो दर्द के जो जख्म है, जो जख्मों से जो दर्द है ना, वो मिला, वो वापस रिवाइव हो जाएगा. So it would be difficult for her to bear that pain again, to go through that pain again, sufferings again. And she says, afraid of being confronted with things that had belonged to a connection that no longer existed. And here we come to know that during the war, she had also lost her mother. तो ये एक और बहुत बड़ा लॉस था नरेटर की लाइफ का. And all the stuff that was stored there in Mrs. Stallings' house, they all were connected to her mother. तो अपनी माँ के साथ जब वो छुपती हुई जिंदगी जी रही थी, रेफ्यूजी के तौर पर जी रही थी, वो पल आसान तो नहीं होंगे. Those times were really difficult for the narrator. So coming back to the address, looking all those things, and again going through those painful traumas was not easy for the narrator. And that is why it took a long time for her to overcome all those sufferings and come to that address. So she says that I was afraid of confronting those things. Confront karna means सामने, आमने सामने देखना, face करना, that belonged to a connection that no longer existed, which were hidden away in cupboards and boxes and waiting in vain until they were put back in their places again, which had endured all those years because they were things. कहती है उन चीजों को देखने से मैं डर रही थी जो बॉक्सेस में बंद पड़े थे और शायद मेरा इंतजार कर रहे थे कि कोई आए और उन्हें वापस उन बॉक्सेस से निकालकर कबर्ड्स में सजा दे. And those things they have endured during these years because they were things. वो चीजें थी इसलिए उनको इंतजार करना पड़ रहा था. And when she talks about herself, she said that she did not have the courage to face those things packed in those boxes and those things which were lying in Mrs. Dorling's house. I hope up to this part the story is clear. Okay. But gradually everything became normal again. Bread was getting to be a lighter color. There was a bed you could sleep in unthreatened, a room with a view you were most used to glancing at each day. So after the war, when things became normal, but it took a long time for the things to become normal. And she says now bread was getting to be a lighter color, means now it was easy to earn livelihood. You know, जब इस तरह के वॉर का टाइम होता है, इमरजेंसी सिचुएशंस लग जाती हैं, स्कैसिटी हो जाती है चीजों, एंड इफ यू आर इन हाइडिंग, आप छुपते फिर रहे हो, रेफ्यूजी हो, देन यू फेस अ लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम्स एज वेल. यू डोंट हैव एनी आइडेंटिटी, सर्वाइवल की स्ट्रगल होती है, नई जगह होती है, फाइटिंग विद द बैड वेदर, you are homeless. So earning bread becomes very difficult for you. So when we talk about bread being lighter color, means it becomes easier to earn livelihood. That means your life came back on track. Now you were earning money as well, and it was not difficult for you to now survive in those areas. So she says that now there was a bed where you could sleep in unthreatened. बिना डरे आप अपने बिस्तर पर सो सकते हो. A room with a view you were most used to glancing at each day. और आपका अपना घर, अपना कमरा, जो आपका अब अपना है, जिसे आप अपना कह सकते हो, और बेड पर लेटे लेटे you can view at the ceiling, जिसको आप देखने के लिए accustomed हो चुके हो. You are familiar watching the same room again and again, and you can sleep there unthreatened. बिना डरे आप चैन से अपने कमरे में सो सकते हो. जिंदगी आसान हो चुकी थी. तो ये बहुत ग्रेजुअल प्रोसेस था, काफी समय लगा जिंदगी नॉर्मल करने में. So once things became normal, narrator says, one day I noticed I was curious about all the possessions that must still be at that address. So जब जिंदगी नॉर्मल ट्रैक पर आ गई, नरेटर ने भी अपने दर्द को ओवरकम कर लिया था, उनको ये एहसास हुआ कि अब शायद एक अजीब क्यूरियोसिटी वो महसूस कर रही थी, और वो क्यूरियोसिटी थी उन चीजों को देखना जो कभी उनकी माँ से connected थी. So she says that I noticed I was curious about all the possessions that must still be at that address. कि अभी भी वो चीजें उस एड्रेस में पड़ी होंगी, and she was curious to go there and see those things. I wanted to see them, touch and remember. So she was ready to face those things, confront those things, touch those things, and recall all the memories that she had of her childhood and the memories which were connected to her mother. Now she had the courage now to face the past as well. So after my first visit in vain to Mrs. Darling's house, I decided to try a second time. The first visit was a failure one. She did not become successful, but she did not give up. She decided that she would go back again and meet Mrs. Darling and talk to her. So there she was again in front of the house. And this time, now a girl of about 15 opened the door to me. I asked her if her mother was at home. No, she said, my mother's doing an errand. No matter, I said, I'll wait for her. Errand means doing regular jobs, बाहर जाना, सामान लाना, छोटे-छोटे जो काम होते हैं. So going out and doing some jobs. So the girl, she welcomed her and she told the narrator that her mother was not at home, she was outside. But the narrator said that she would wait for her. वो उसका इंतजार करना चाहती है. And she was determined this time that definitely she would face her, talk to her, and claim for the possessions that she had kept in her safe custody. वो अपने उन चीजों को claim करना चाहती थी, वापस लेना चाहती थी, और इसलिए वो दोबारा वहां पर पहुंची थी. I followed the girl along the passage. An old-fashioned iron Hanukkah candle holder hung next to a mirror. We never used it because it was much more cumbersome than a single candlestick. So this time the girl didn't refuse to welcome her. So she took her along the passage to her sitting room. And the narrator said that I followed the girl. An old-fashioned iron Hanukkah candle holder hung next to a mirror. Now, जो विदेशी लोग होते हैं वो कैंडल स्टैंड्स बहुत यूज करते थे, राइट? सो हनुक्का कैंडल एक स्पेशल फेस्टिवल कैंडल होल्डर होता है where you can put a lot of candles together. So that is quite heavy also. You can find these type of candles of very antique designs. So the narrator, she tells us about the fact that it was a Hanukkah candle and they had never used it because it was very cumbersome. Cumbersome means difficult to handle, right? So that way it was very difficult to carry than a single candlestick. The single candle holders hote, you can just put one candle there. But this was a very large one. And you can put multiple candles on that candle holders. So it becomes little heavy and difficult also to handle. So she said that they had never used this Hanukkah candle holder. And she saw that it was put to use by Mrs. Darling. उस पैसेज में वो हनुक्का कैंडल का मौजूद होना इस बात का सिंबल था दैट वो कैंडल होल्डर अब मिसेस डॉर्लिंग द्वारा इस्तेमाल में था, वो उनको यूज कर रहे थे. Won't you sit down? asked the girl. She held open the door of the living room and I went inside past her. I stopped horrified. I was in a room I knew and did not know. I found myself in the midst of the things I did want to see again, but which oppressed me in the strange atmosphere. So when she was welcomed by this little girl and she entered into the living room, she stood there at the door. She was horrified. She was shocked. And why she was shocked? She tells us about various things that why she became depressed. Oppressed means to get depressed in that strange atmosphere. And see the remark, she said, I was in a room I knew and did not know. कहने का क्या मतलब है? It's somewhere in her visuals, in her imagination, she had imagined the room. She had never been to Mrs. Darling's house, but in her imagination, she had thought that there would be such and such room, and उन रूम्स में कुछ बॉक्सेस पड़े होंगे जहां उसके माँ का सामान बहुत सेफली रखा होगा. But when she was finally standing there, she was horrified because in that room nothing was of that sort that she had imagined in her mind. उसने जो सोचा था वो वहां उसे दिख नहीं रहा था. तो कहती कि मैं उस रूम में खड़ी थी जिसे शायद मैं जानती थी पर मैं अब उसे पहचान नहीं पा रही थी. I did not know. I was horrified. I found myself in the midst of things I did want to see. मैं उन चीजों के बीच में खड़ी थी जिनको मैं इतनी दूर से लेने और क्लेम करने आई थी, उनको देखने आई थी, उनको छूने आई थी. But the scene that she saw, it depressed her. It disappointed her. She says it was because of the strange atmosphere or because of the tasteless way everything was arranged, because of ugly furniture or the muggy smell that hung there. I don't know, but I scarcely dared to look around me. अब सोचो जो कोई पुरानी चीज आपकी कहीं पड़ी हो, बहुत दिनों बाद आप उन चीजों को देख रहे हो, तो आपकी क्या रिएक्शन होगा? आप फटाफट से चीजों को देखोगे, खोलोगे, उनको अनरैप करोगे, महसूस करोगे, टच करोगे, इमोशनल हो जाओगे. बट यहाँ नरेटर के साथ ऐसा कुछ नहीं हुआ, बल्कि वो डिसअपॉइंट हो गई. क्यों? क्योंकि सारी जो चीजें थी they were put to use by Mrs. Darling and they were lying in a very disorganized way in that room. So your tasteless way everything was arranged refers to the mismanaged way the things were kept there. क्योंकि सारी चीजें इस्तेमाल में थी और बिल्कुल भी उन्हें सही तरीके से रखा नहीं हुआ था. And she said that I did not know why I felt horrified. And she gave certain explanation. शायद वो tasteless arrangement चीजों का, या फिर जो पुराना फर्नीचर था उस रूम में, या muggy, the foul smell that was coming of that room. But she said that I felt disappointed and depressed. And she said that she did not dare to look around herself. उसने उन चीजों को मुड़कर देखा तक नहीं. She avoided looking at the things which were there in that room, all the things that was of her mother. जो उसकी माँ की चीजें थी, वो उन्हें इतनी दूर से लेने आई थी, बट वो उन्हें इस पल में देखना तक नहीं चाह रही है. The girl moved the chair, but I scarcely dared to look at. The girl moved the chair. I sat down and stared at the woolen tablecloth. I rubbed it. My fingers grew warm from rubbing. I followed the lines of the pattern. Somewhere on the edge, there should be a burn mark that had never been repaired. Now see, even the clothes have been put to use. Right? The sheets, the covers, and we also have seen Mrs. Darling wearing her mother's green knitted cardigan, which her mother used to wear. She was wearing that one. Even the tablecloth was put to use. And she remembered that it had a burn mark at one corner. She rubbed her fingers over that woolen cloth. उसकी fingers गर्म हो गई. Woolen cloth था, woolen पे hand rub करते हो तो warmth महसूस होती है. She felt the warmth. It can be the warmth of affection as well. But she said that she was trying to look at the edge of the tablecloth, trying to find that burn mark which had never been repaired. उस टेबल क्लॉथ पे एक जलने का निशान था जिसे कभी रिपेयर नहीं किया गया, और वो उस मार्क को ढूंढने लगी. As if she was trying to feel the warmth of her mother. उन पुरानी यादों को ढूंढने की कोशिश कर रही थी जो शायद मिसेस डॉर्लिंग द्वारा बार बार इस्तेमाल करने की वजह से वीक ना पड़ गई है, फेड ना हो गई है. My mother will be back soon, said the girl. I've already made tea for her. Will you have a cup? So the girl, she offered chair to sit and also offered her a cup of tea. Thank you, the narrator said. I looked up. The girl put cups ready on the tea table. She had a broad back, just like her mother. She poured a tea from a white pot. All it had was a gold border on the lid. I remember. She opened the box and took some spoons out. Even the cup set, which she was about to pour the tea in the cup, belonged to her mother. She remembered the golden border that was on the border of that cup. सारी चीजें मिसेस डॉलिंग इस्तेमाल कर रही थी. And how we see, we come to know about the dishonest behavior of Mrs. Darling. How clever we find her that she had cheated Mrs. S, that is Narita's mother, convinced her to keep all her belongings under her safe custody. But she betrayed her. She should have kept all the things the way Mrs. S had handed over to her. She should not have used those things. But what we see here, सब कुछ इस्तेमाल में था. Even जो उनके cups थे, plates थी, सब कुछ इस्तेमाल हो रहा था. So this narrator, she remembered that the cup set also belonged to her mother, and she opened a box and took some spoons out. That's a nice box. I heard my own voice. It was a strange voice, as though each sound was different in this room. The narrator, she was so depressed at the moment. She was so shocked to see the things put to use that when she spoke this time, उसे अपनी ही आवाज अजनबी आवाज महसूस हो रही थी. तो जब उसने कहा कि ये बॉक्स बड़ा खूबसूरत है, बिकॉज वो बॉक्स भी उसकी मदर का था. एंड जब उसने ये बात कही, कहती कि मुझे अपनी ही आवाज स्ट्रेंज लगने लगी, एज इफ वो अपने आप को ही उस पल में पहचान नहीं पा रही थी. And she felt as if she was sitting in an unfamiliar surrounding. वो एक अजनबी के घर बैठी है, उसे अपनी आवाज ही अजनबी महसूस होने लगी. Oh, you know about them? She had turned round and brought me my tea. She laughed. My mother says it is antique. We have got lots more. She pointed round the room. See for yourself. So the narrator, she was very well aware about the things that belonged to her mother. The girl was a little surprised. और वो कहती कि अच्छा आप जानते हो इन चीजों को, देखा है पहले आपने कभी? हमारे घर में ऐसी बहुत सारी चीजें पड़ी हैं. और वो पूरे घर की ओर इशारा करके दिखाने की कोशिश करती है कि look around, see, we have a lot of things of such kind and all those are antique ones. I had no need to follow her hand. नरेटर कहती है मुझे कोई जरूरत ही नहीं थी उसके हैंड को फॉलो करने की, because she knew she was pointing at the things which was of her mother's. I knew which things she meant. I just looked at the still life over the tea table. As a child, I had always fancied the apple on the pure plate. And वो कहती कि मैंने उन चीजों को वापस से अवॉइड किया देखने के लिए, क्योंकि I knew she was pointing at all the things which were of my mother's. And then she kept on looking at the still life over the tea table. Now this can be interpreted in two ways. If we just talk on superficial level, still life refers to जो non living चीजें पड़ी थी उस टेबल पर. Or it can be interpreted, if we go into deep into it, that how she remembered the past when they would sit at that table and they would enjoy tea during tea time. उस बीते हुए पल जो थम सा गया था उसके लिए, उस पल के लिए, she was having recollection of those past memories. And then she remembered that how she had always fancied, imagined of eating apple on the pure plate. Now ये जो pure plate होती है, ये alloy से बनी हुई चीजें होती हैं, mixture of metals, and they have an antique design on it. तो नरेटर को ये याद आता है कि कैसे जब वो छोटी थी वो हमेशा एप्पल जो है उस प्योर प्लेट पे खाना पसंद करती थी. She had imagined always to have apple on that plate. We use it for everything, she said. और वो गर्ल क्या कहती है जब वो देखती है कि नरेटर उन प्लेट्स की तरफ देख रही है, एंटीक प्लेट्स जो पड़ी थी, तो वो भी यही कहती है कि हम इन प्लेट्स को हर चीज के लिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं. Once we even ate off the plates hanging there on the wall. I wanted it so much, but it wasn't anything special. तो जैसे नरेटर ने कभी उन प्लेट्स में एप्पल खाने की इच्छा जाहिर की थी, ये जो गर्ल है वो भी यही कहती है, हम इन प्लेट्स को हर काम के लिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं, और वो कहती है कि मैंने भी इस पर खाने की ट्राई की पर मुझे कुछ खास स्पेशल तो लगा नहीं, दे वर जस्ट लाइक ऑर्डिनरी प्लेट्स. And this way we see that in that house where the narrator, she had come expecting a very gentle behavior from Mrs. Darling and finding her things to be kept in a very proper manner, both the things were not there. She had not received a good reception by Mrs. Darling. And when second time she visited the house, she was disappointed to see her mother's belongings all put to use by Mrs. Darling. So we will stop here today. We will continue the chapter tomorrow. Okay.